AI Peter Griffins. That's it. I don't know. Nothing really needs to be said about this strange trend that is popping off on my Instagram feed. From Imam Peter to Pope Peter and now Czar Peter, a whole lot of Peter Griffins have appeared out of thin air, making a variety of content. So with the help of some friends and some special guests, I decided to create a video that nobody has asked for, and that's to explain these AI Peter Griffins. I do want to leave a disclaimer, of course. This video does involve religion and a lot of very touchy subjects for people. By no means am I using this to spread religion or to bash other religions. This is mostly just for fun and to talk about the meme accounts. In 2025, it's not unusual to see AI content anymore. For the most part, running day-to-day tasks with AI content in the background makes it so much more appealing to me. It's also not unusual to get religious posts on Instagram or Facebook. Like seriously, there was a whole genre created for middle-aged moms back in the early 2000s. But the combination of the two is evolution at its finest. Accounts such as Pope Peter, Czar Peter, and oddballs like Imam Tate are just some of many flooding the Instagram wasteland with AI memes of each respective character. Whether it's Bible verses or being told that Diddy parties are wrong, there's always a lesson within these videos, even if it's not really the most inclusive. Well, I can't really explain these videos without showing you guys a couple of them, so let's jump into some of them. We're going to start with one of the founding fathers, which is Pope Peter. Pope Peter II to be exact. So we're just going to start with one of his first videos.
Priest Stewie. There's this guy online, Imam Peter. He's answering questions about Islam, and now everyone's asking, where's Pope Peter to defend Christianity?
A defense, you say? It is time to summon the Vicar of Christ himself. Come, Brian, and witness the triumph of the papal majesty.
Do we really need to call him? It's Peter. He's Peter.
Precisely. And now behold, Pope Peter I, Sovereign Pontiff of the Universal Church.
Who dares summon the defender of the faith?
Your Holiness. There is a viral Imam Peter spreading teachings of Islam. The faithful. Seek your guidance to boldly proclaim the truth of Christ and defend the one true faith.
A rival Peter, so be it. Summon my sacred scriptures and prepare my crozier. This crusade shall commence at dawn.
This is not going to end well.
Ah, but dear Brian, it is the holy folly of the church that prevails. For Christ's truth, for salvation, and of course, for holy breadsticks.
Truly, Your Holiness, you inspire the faithful.
Let's go, child. Let's proclaim the gospel, and then perhaps stop for pizza. One must nourish the body as well as the soul. So, are you ready to learn the gospel? Or do I need to bless your Wi-Fi first?
To really start with this one, it leaves a lot of tidbits of the lore between a bunch of these Peters. It kind of sets everything up. You kind of get off just as one video I guess like what this account is striving to do, which is spread Christianity. Now within a sea of these religious AI Peter Griffins, there are also just like a bunch of them that are actually more built for like informing the audience. One of them I recently found was a automotive Peter Griffin that does a bunch of math for you. So I just decided why not get into a couple of these.
I'm gonna slap on a wide body kit for my car. It's gonna look so cool.
A star PHARRELL, Stewie. Have you thought about the aerodynamics? All that extra width can actually mess with your car's airflow.
What do you mean? It's a cool body kit. More aggressive, more power, right?
Not exactly. You're increasing drag and disrupting airflow, which slows you down and burns more fuel. That wide-body kit is actually making your car less efficient.
So it's not gonna make me faster? What good is it if I can't leave people in the dust?
Exactly. You're better off with a streamlined look if you care about speed. That wide-body kit just says, I want to look fast, but I'm actually slower.
Well, I guess I'll just stick with my current body kit for now.
Smart move, Stewie. Follow Mechatronic Peter for more.
Shit, power is power, baby. I can beat a Toyota Corolla with that boy. Another account that I've also found that spreads good information is actually the Gay Ally Peter. I really like what they're doing with their account, just kind of spreading information about the LGBTQ community. To see someone like in a community try to utilize this like funny haha way of spreading information to the younger audience, especially in a time right now. So let's get into one of those.
Everyone is so gay all of a sudden these days.
Gay people have always existed.
Yeah, but not as much as today. Oh, okay.
Well, gay people have been very discriminated and persecuted throughout history. It is just the last century that the liberation movement begun. Let me give you an example. You see, being left-handed used to be seen as wicked back then.
So there weren't a lot of openly left-handed people out there till it became a more accepted thing. Nowadays, there's millions of left-handed folks, and no one really cares about what hand you write with.
So there are a lot of gays nowadays because it's more accepted. There always have been, but unable to be open about it.
Exactly, Brian. There's such a lot of acceptance in most Western societies, but that doesn't mean everyone has the same freedom to love anyone and live as their true self as the fight for our freedom continues.
Everyone is so gay all of a sudden these days.
I love that he's just yelling the whole video. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I feel like it's a good way to be able to spread things. I mean, there's also one right here. This is Tourette's, Peter, that kind of goes through kind of the symptoms of Tourette's or explaining it to people who might not be so aware of it.
Hey, Peter, I noticed you don't swear or yell things. I thought you had Tourette's.
Well, Lois, while some people have Tourette's have echolalia, which is a form of Tourette's where you say specific words. Only 10% of people with Tourette's have that. Whilst most people with tics make sounds, it usually isn't a word.
Oh, that's cool, hon.
Well, shut up, Peter.
A stat PHARRELL, Brian! What did I do this time?
Well, I think you're just using it as a crutch to garner sympathy.
I hope you step on a banana peel and fall on your ugly face. Also, while simultaneously having diarrhea erupt from your ass.
Oh, was that another so-called tic of yours?
No, I just hate you.
Well,
I love the fact that, I mean, you know, you can still spread information while still taking it the way it should be, which is humor. It's a meme, you know. It's one of those where you can still take information out of this, but still laugh at it. These accounts are spreading like wildfire. I've been sending them to a bunch of my friends. One of them, Caden, I decided to sit down with to talk more on his opinions about the utilization of AI Peter Griffins. Well, I've changed rooms. We are now with Caden. Caden, I've showed you a couple of these videos. We'll kind of go through them again. So here we have zeEtBeatz. Go ahead and press on the first one.
Peter Eve heard that we have to reform to an economic centrist government, like capitalism.
Привет, Stuia. Capitalism is designed to give elites power, and these elites know nothing about ruling.
So a capitalist just wants to be controlled by rich people. Also, what separates you from rich elites?
Well, Stewie, for one, I have studied the history of my forefathers in order to be the best possible leader of Russia. And yes, Stewie, capitalists wish to be ruled by rich people.
But aren't we a capitalist country?
Technically, yes, but we are not led by greed, we are led by me, the Tsar. And I, from a young age, have been taught the best way of ruling. Meanwhile, the rich only care about money and only know how to make money.
Thank you for educating me on the best form of government. An absolute monarchy.
No problem, Stewie. Send this video to a friend who needs to stop being a capitalist.
So, if you were to randomly stumble across a video like that, what do you think are your first impressions?
I mean, my first impression would just be, haha, this is funny. Like, I wouldn't take that video that seriously. The Tsar and I feel like saying an absolute monarchy is the best form of government. I feel like those are jokes, you know? So I wouldn't take it very seriously.
Do you think, like, how do you feel about AI Peters being used in this essence?
I think it's pretty funny. Just like to use a cartoon character to spread information. But again, like taking something from this isn't like, I would probably just scroll past this or like think it's funny and like laugh about it. But this isn't where I would go to get my like information about things in the world. So yeah.
Do you see anything good to come out of this?
Yeah, I think it's a tool that can be used like many other things. Maybe not the best tool, but it's something pretty simple that, you know, someone, let's say a Christian who, you know, maybe they're too young or they're afraid to talk in front of a camera, they could use, you know, what comes to their mind and put it into text and then upload it for an AI to talk about it. So I think there's different avenues, you know, someone can take where like, you know, you could have someone who's, you know, Pope Peter could be a really like good person, like coming from a great place, and he doesn't really want to be on camera, so he's, you know, letting an AI do it, and you know that might spread to certain groups of people, like children, or I mean people who like Family Guy, but also at the same time we see it can be used pretty badly for things like cryptocurrency, or I mean, I could see this going farther and just like becoming fully oppressive, or just like, you know, the next thing could be like Nazi Peter. So we don't know what could happen, but overall, I think it's interesting for sure.
As mentioned earlier, most of these accounts are either trying to spread information, whether it be their religion or their community. Some of these are just solely for jokes. I decided to sit with a couple of these Peter Griffins to better understand why they created their accounts. Wardrobe change. Well, we're here live with Pope, Gay, Czar, Conspiracy, and Magus Peter. Peters, welcome.
Thank you for the interview.
First question for you guys. Why did you create the account?
I made the account to entertain people with a similar sense of humor to me.
I created this account as a rival to Imam Peter in order to spread Christianity. Since he had been reaching a lot of people, I felt the need to create an account to counter that and share the Christian message.
I decided to create my account just for fun, but then the first video I posted ended up blowing up, so I continued.
I created the account because, as Bin Laden said, if given a weak horse and a strong horse, the newer generation will always choose the strong horse.
What the?
Yesterday, I just thought to myself about how could I get Gen Alpha to be more accepting about queerness. And I realized that if you sell them something with a background gameplay, they will get it, from communism to religion.
Has using an AI character been good for you to be able to create content or spread your message?
Absolutely, because I don't have to elaborate a lot. It's pretty easy.
Do you do this for fun, or is there a monetary motive? Is there any other motive outside of just wanting to create a Peter Griffin account?
This is mainly for fun, but if it does take off, I will be happy. I hope that a big platform will come from these videos. That way I can live off of this and my art/music/books. The world is turning to hatred at a rapid pace. I just want to make a better world because the children are eventually going to get into positions of power someday. And with all the red-pilled content, I just want to give them another view of the world.
Damn, that was deep as hell. I don't know how anyone can top that.
Out of love for my God and out of love for others' soul. Not for crypto like Imam Peter.
Has there been any backlash, any negative comments coming from the account and from the messages you spread?
There's some people who don't like what I'm doing, but so many of them gave me good responses saying, keep sharing the truth. Even a Peter Griffin account to reach people and share the truth. Gotta meet people where they are. I learned to deal with people long ago. The only way one can stop hate is by spreading facts. That's my plan. Explain why our community is struggling with the most respect.
I personally don't care for the people that dislike it. I will sometimes interact with them if I agree with the criticism.
Is there a message you want to leave off with, whether it's to the creators or to people watching?
All credit for the idea goes to Kaiser Meowhelm and my friend Sebastian, or Inevitable Jedi. She left a comment on Socialist Peter's page, and my friend Sebastian sent it to me.
I hope comes from my videos, just for people to keep watching and enjoying them.
Well, I just want to say that hating on someone just because you don't understand their identity is just stupid. And the hateful Peters should get a job instead of being big.
All right, that is more than enough. Thank you so much, Peter. We're just going to send it back to you guys. Thank you, Other Daniel. As I mentioned earlier, it's strange for me. On one end, I don't really like AI. I don't like AI in art especially. But on another end, hearing from these creators really made me think a lot about like what it means for other people who don't necessarily want to be on camera, whether it's because they don't want to or they can't. And I think being able to spread a message about your community in a positive way, even if it's through this joking way, in a world like today, I think it's important to have funny accounts while also having these accounts that are actually spreading positive messages. As I said again, and I'm going to keep reiterating this, I think being able to spread a message about your community, especially in a time like this, is best, even if it's through Peter Griffin of all things. You know, with this getting ever so popular, I just hope these accounts don't derail into something that can be harmful, whether that's Nazi Peter or a Hawk to a Coin Girl explaining to you why Diddy parties are bad. Wait, that's a thing?
Old enough to give a hawk tour?
Yes! No, all jokes aside, I really think, well, maybe this isn't all that bad after all. Oh, I forgot about that.
The Imam Peter coin is dropping this.
Well, what a good way to transition into controversy. As mentioned earlier, there is a Peter Griffin account that is currently getting scrutinized for their utilization of selling cryptocurrency on their account, both by Peter Griffins and also just avid watchers. The account Imam Peter apparently is selling their own crypto coin. Now, in terms of this being a scam or not, I'm not entirely sure whether or not it is, nor am I going to assume that it is, but my problem with this is how an account who spreads teachings of Islam can immediately sell crypto. Even one of their videos talks about financial literacy and what is haram within the religion. Not only does this put a bad light on their religion, but it also puts a bad light on other accounts or other accounts that are spreading religion, because people are going to correlate Peter Griffins with Peter Griffins. The last thing you want to have is leave the young and impressionable believing that it's okay to do things that are actually considered haram or sin in the religion. Caden and I spoke on this in our interview.
It is strange, in my opinion, to see a religious account that like is trying to spread like Islam and like all of the teachings of that, and then immediately start selling cryptocurrency. Yeah. What are your opinions? How do you feel about that, knowing that like an account is utilizing religion and then immediately selling something with it?
Well, I mean, I'm not really surprised, to be honest, especially since this person doesn't have their face, you know, shown, so they can kind of do these things without feeling like they're gonna get, you know, attacked. But we've seen religion used as like ways to make money, even in Christianity. The Catholic Church in the 1500s was basically, hey, give us money and, you know, God will love you. So yeah, religion has been used to justify awful things. Religion has been used to take money from people. Religion was used to justify slavery. Religion was used to justify the Holocaust. Like, people abuse religion, and that's something I take to heart because I'm a Christian, and that just makes us look bad, especially when it's people who claim to be Christians doing these things, or any religious person really just kind of messes with their faith or makes other people view it badly. So that's something that I've seen in my life, and clearly here is being done. Yeah, that's a big no-no. I think that's pretty bad to do, and it makes people who take their faith seriously, it makes other people's perception of them look like, oh, you might be someone who's like this.
Do you think you'd buy the coin?
Absolutely not. There's no chance. Not a single chance.
How do you feel about the fact that like an AI Peter Griffin really is like trying to do that?
It's kind of telling of like where we are in the world. It's like, I don't know. I feel like we're just using the technology and the resources we have so poorly. Like, using an AI Peter Griffin to sell a cryptocurrency that's probably gonna rug pull is just like, I don't know, it's pretty sad. We could be doing a lot better things with AI, but I'm also not surprised, so.
As I mentioned earlier, this video started off completely different. When I was building this, it was specifically on the religious Peter Griffins, because at the time that's all there was. The idea was to go through talking about the correlations within the real world and the cycles and trends of art and religion itself, and yada yada yada, literally just to explain this.
I've read so many emails today, it was so much work. I'm going to black out and get railed by some black guy in a porta potty at this rave tonight. Pass me that Four Loko.
Logan, you know that Andrew's gonna lose his shit if he sees that Four Loko. Astaghfirullah, Logan!
I'm coming!
At the end of the day, I came out of this learning a couple of things. I think one of them for sure is that AI isn't all that bad. And the creators themselves, for the most part, aren't doing this to harm their community or anything of that sorts. And that it means more than just creating funny content. That, and I also learned how to do this.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks to Caden and the Peters. Thanks to Czarist, Peter Magus, Griffin, Conspiracy Pizza, Peter Pope, _Peter 2, and Queer Peter. If you're interested in watching their videos, I will be linking all of their accounts down below. As always, Peter Gang, stay creative.